Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Bethany Games. This is my third ever video. I'm doing another Sims 4 speed build. Today I'm going to be building in the world of Oasis Springs, which came with the base game. It's a more Mediterranean type world, and it's probably my favorite. I know that's kind of random, especially with all like the really cool worlds that came with the different expansion packs and game packs, but Oasis Springs always pulls it through for me. I would love to live in pretty much any of the houses that are designed for this specific world. This house in particular, if you turned it from a small 3-bedroom house to a 1-bedroom, fairly large for a 1-bedroom house build, it would be my dream home. I love the style of it. I think it's gorgeous. I would love to live in it. Again, with those changes. But yeah, I am really excited for this build. I built it actually with a picture in mind. I found a picture on Pinterest, and it was actually of the back of the house. So that is why the build kind of starts off literally with me building the pool, which is definitely out of the ordinary, I think, for most builders. I think you would start at the base of the house rather than just like, where's the pool is gonna be. Probably not the most typical thing, but yes, I was building off of a picture of the back of the house, and the front and the sides are both designed out of my own mind, and the floor plan and everything. I accidentally cut out the floor plan. I think with every video there's something you're like, oh, I accidentally did this, but I'm learning. It's all a process. It's my third video, so yeah. Anyways, the house, and just trying to add some depth to it. It can be kind of difficult when you're going off of a picture of the back of the house to then add the same amount of depth to the front of the house and to make it its own unique thing, because you don't have that reference picture for the front. I'm also trying to work on the roof. With the Mediterranean build, I don't actually put on an actual roof to it. I just kind of put a little bit of fencing and have like a flat roof. I feel like that suits the build more, and I think I do that in quite a lot of my builds, to have that like the flat roof. I think it turns out really well. I really like the overall look of it. So I am back to working on the back of the house. Again, inspired by a photo that I found on Pinterest. Definitely much more inspired than rather trying to make an exact copy. That's not really what this build is. I go on Pinterest and stuff a lot, just like to spark an idea rather than to just copy a picture. So I'm working on getting the big windows, get all the beautiful sunlight from Oasis Springs into the house. I love Oasis Springs so much. I think it's because it's the first world that I chose to live in when I first played Sims 4, so it's like a nostalgia attachment trip to it. I think if you were to ask most people what their favorite world is, I don't think most people would say Oasis Springs, but I love it. I love the vibes, I love the weather. I would probably choose there to live if I were to live in The Sims. I think it'd be pretty dope. So I think actually figuring out the windows and stuff took me the longest out of everything for the entire build. Like once I get inside, I think the build actually goes really quickly. I figured out the theme pretty much immediately for what I wanted on the inside. For the outside, like I knew the general vibe I was going for, and I was just trying to work out how to get that for quite some time. I'm just trying to go for like this really kind of like a modern Mediterranean home. But so for lots of builds that I do, I like to I either create a family or I download a random family from the gallery just create a home to fit them. But so for this home, I made the family myself. The matriarch is an elder woman who is retired, and she was definitely like an actress. She was very successful, very wealthy woman, and the two other members of the family are her two children. One is a young adult who has recently finished university and is back home and is moved back in with her family, but is not in the home that she grew up with. So the room that she's living in is more like a guest home, which I kind of relate to, because like my parents, they moved pretty much right after I graduated high school. So whenever I visit them, like, it's home because home is where your mom is, but at the same time it feels like I'm just staying in a guest home. It's not like that nostalgic bedroom that I grew up in. And so yeah, so that's where she is. And then the other one is a male teen who's just kind of like figuring out what he wants to do. He's like he has creative aspects, but also athletic aspects, and just like a jack of all trades. And yeah, so that's the family that I created, and you'll see that reflected in the rooms when I get to the interior. I think the outside took me so long because it's just very different than the type of homes that I have grown up like seeing. I am from Canada, and a Mediterranean home is not what you're gonna see in Canada. So this is, it's very far from the type of home that I have grown up seeing. Of course, I've seen homes like this, like going on vacation and stuff, or on the internet or TV and stuff like that. But it's definitely not completely in my wheelhouse. But it's my favorite type of build to do. But you never find them anywhere near where I live. This is the kind of build where every time that I thought I was done with the outside, something would trigger me to just keep on working on the outside, or just like, oh, just gotta change this little thing. And it was pretty much constantly, I gotta go inside, and then like, oh, gotta fix this thing, and be back on the outside again. And you'll probably see that throughout the build. But yeah, it was always like a never quite satisfied with it type of thing. At one point towards the end, I cut out the part where I added, so I tried to add a rooftop garden to part of it, but it just looked not good at all. And so at one point, you will see later on, there's just all this greenery on the roof, and then the very last clip is me deleting it because it didn't work out, and it looks much better without it. Although having a rooftop garden for a rooftop garden for a roof, that doesn't make any sense. Anyways, a rooftop garden, I think personally would be amazing, and if you have that in your life, good for you. I'm very jealous. But in this build, it just didn't work out. So I'm starting to work on the landscaping. Landscaping is probably my least favorite part of a build, although I always like how it turns out. I love when other people do it as well. I think there's lots of extremely talented YouTubers out there, especially when it comes to landscaping. And it's probably the thing that can make your build look the most realistic. However, I find it boring. I'll do like one patch of a garden and throw some rocks around it, and I'll consider that done. And maybe a tree or two. But yeah, I don't find it the most fun thing to do, like putting plants. Although on the inside of my houses, they are filled with plants. So I don't know what's up with that. But yeah. And I am still working on the windows. I did landscaping and now I'm back to the goddamn windows. And I'm realizing now that I put in way too much time on that. And it's embarrassing. How long does it take to figure out windows? So I will soon be working on the balcony again, just to change up the roofing of it. And I do realize that if you were to go out onto this balcony, you would end up with one heck of a suntan. It would, yeah, just squares. You'd be a plaid person. But it's a Sims 4 and it's not real life, so that doesn't happen. And it can just look nice. But yeah, so I'm just changing it to match the windows. See, another drinking game rule every time I talk about the goddamn windows. And so now I'm just working on the entranceway. It is super simple, just a mat and some shoes, wrapped around staircase. But yeah, it's a very simple room. And then I'll be moving on to the bathroom. And I love the bathroom. The bathroom, I only showed one of them, but there is 3 in the entire build, and basically I just copied and pasted throughout. I have never loved the bathroom more. I would love this bathroom in real life. I think it's beautiful. And never have I ever stylized a bathroom as well since. I need this bathroom in my life. It is the perfect bathroom. Drink. Off topic, but a thought that I had, like the whole idea of Mediterranean builds and how much I love them. I think it is strongly inspired by Mamma Mia, and I just want to be Meryl Streep in overalls on a Greek island and dating Pierce Brosnan. That's my goal in life, and you can't tell me it's unrealistic because it's not right to talk about somebody's dreams. Moving on to the living room. A constant theme within my builds. You will definitely see movie hangout. It is up there in my favorite packs. And probably my favorite sub pack. It's coming to mind right now. I know. Movie hangout, laundry day. I know I talked about this in my last video, but movie hangout, laundry day. Top 2. I love the boho vibes. A couple of my favorite items are from this pack. It is a beautiful pack, no faults, literally no, well, except that it could have more patterns to it. I talked about this in my last video, but I love this pack. Still working on the living room. One thing that I found kind of odd in my choices is that the one time I remember fireplaces exist is when I'm building in Oasis Springs. You don't get winter in Oasis Springs, and like that's the time that I remember to put in a fireplace. Most of my builds, I don't remember they exist. I completely forget about them. I make no room for them. Like even if I do remember them, I'll be like, oh, I can't fit it. But most of the time I just forget they exist. And so Oh, you know what build you need it in? The Oasis Springs one. Makes no sense whatsoever, but here we are. One thing that I really love about this build is the exposed brick. That definitely makes it my dream home. I love exposed brick. It is my favorite feature of any home ever, and it has been since forever, like probably since I was a teenager. That's the first time I can remember acknowledging that I love exposed brick. But yeah, it's beautiful, and I think I did a pretty good job with it. I think it fit into the build very well. So right now I'm still just working on the living room and filling it up with clutter, and I love clutter. I think it makes it look very lived in. I know that using the move objects on sheet, I would definitely be able to incorporate more of it and perhaps have it a more realistic look. But yes, I do not use any cheats on my builds. I am a console gamer as well, so no CC or mods, and my choice to not use any cheats either, because I think you can use like move objects on cheats on PS4, I believe. I've never tried it, but I choose not to use cheats because some of them, or at least most of them, can affect the trophy system on PlayStation 4, and I am trying to platinum the game. The trophy system, if you're not familiar with PS4 trophies, they're just little like accomplishments that you get for doing certain things in games, and when you complete them all for a game, you get a platinum, and that's kind of your level on your PlayStation name, if that makes sense. Like, I have a level like 12, and that's a combination of like platinums, golds, silvers, and bronze trophies of just all the games that I've ever played on PS4. And yeah, and they mean nothing, except it's just, I don't know, it's nice to get them. I like it. It's fun. So I am now working on the kitchen/dining room, and it is my favorite room in the entire house. Definite dream kitchen dining room. I get to use my favorite item that in the entire game, which is a dining table from Movie Hangout, shocker. And I love the bright blues, as well as I don't think it's like over the top bright, but it's a very colorful kitchen. Could never be described as boring. I think it's very fun, and I really loved making it. So moving on to the first bedroom of the build, which is in my game occupied by the sim that I talked about earlier, who was a young adult, and she has just finished university and has moved back in with her mother, but it's not really the room that she grew up in. Her mother has just moved, and so she's essentially just living in a guest room. Something that I identify with for sure. Just having that childhood room be gone, move back in. Yeah, it's not the greatest feeling, but yeah, it is a really cute room, and the curtains from it are again from Movie Hangout, which I am realizing I need to branch out because I use items from that pack far too much, and I definitely need to switch up a little bit. But the curtains are again to die for. The table, the curtains, I love that pack. Every video that I make now is an advertisement for that pack. Another item that I really love is featured in this room. It's like this 3-part painting. It comes with a few different swatches, but my favorite is like a dark blue with like some gold like splatters of paint, and it is such a beautiful piece. I use it in a lot of my builds. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous item, and it is in base game. So here you'll see me editing the bathroom to make it a little bit larger to incorporate a shower. Since there is a bedroom on the first floor, it will be much more convenient for the occupant to be able to use a shower on the first floor as well, rather than my original idea of having a half bath in that location. So now I am just throwing in the laundry room. I realize it is kind of an odd way to get into a laundry room from the outside, but adding laundry rooms is one of my favorite things in the game, and I like to include them as much as I can. I think the only time I don't include them is if it's like a really small apartment, because at that point you can justify it that there's laundry in the apartment building, versus like a house, like you pretty likely to have laundry in it, and so I like to include that as much as I can. And yeah, so it is a little bit of a weird entrance, but like I don't think it's that crazy to have it from the outside. So I'm now working on the master bedroom. My one thing with this house is that the bedrooms are very small, even the master, and the master has an ensuite and everything still, but I did make them fairly small. But they are kind of like that summer home type vibes. Although I did make this home with the intent of Sims living in it year round, you could place it in the world that comes with Jungle Adventure or something, and just have it as a vacation home. I don't remember what that world's called right now. I haven't actually bought that pack yet. It's that and I'm Living are next on my to buy list. I don't have all the packs. I buy them slowly as they go on sale, and I was certainly late to the game with PS4, Sims 4. But I'm getting there. One day I will have them all. This is the last bedroom in the build that I am working on currently. It is a bedroom with a teenager in mind. There is both sports equipment as well as musical instruments. So they're kind of in my head, kind of a jack of all trades. Obviously, you can delete the furniture inside. It is a fairly small room. You can turn it into a nursery or a toddler room, and the size might suit that kind of sim better. But I like what it turns out. I was able to fit in a desk and a bunch of soccer jerseys and stuff. So I feel even though it's a small room, I think the Sims personality I was able to get that across, and they still have activities to do inside of that room. And I think it's a pretty cute room, actually, to be honest, especially with the size and not being able to do much with it. And it's kind of a weird shape, but yeah, I'm pretty proud of it. I'm pretty happy with it. But yes, so that's the last room inside the house, and then I'll probably be moving back onto the exterior. So at this point, I am again pulling from the inspiration from the photo that I found online of the back side of the house, and really I just am trying to make it look as luxurious and classy as possible, and yeah, that's really what I'm going for at this point. So screenshots of the build will be rolling shortly. Anyone who watches this, please like and subscribe. That would be lovely, and have a wonderful day.